And now, WolfBytes Open Mic.
The Bass Jackers.
I just came home actually from tour.
Hey guys, this is Phoenix Paul.
Hey, what's up? This is Sean Frank.
WolfBytes DJs and your favorite artists.
Sophie Francis. Sophie, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, it's super nice to join you guys.
What's up, guys? This is Armin Van Buren.
Now, Open Mic.
Hello and welcome to another edition of WolfBytes Radio's Open Mic. Mr. Voice here with Cade Cross, and we are super excited because we have Joe Avila, one half of the Monstercat duo of Armnhmr. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great, man. We have a tour coming up, so just kind of enjoying the time in my studio, finishing up some stuff. So can't complain at all.
So, and I want to definitely get to the tour, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask this question because I know a lot of people want to know, were you guys just sitting around cleaning one day and then came up, this would be a great name for a band? How did the name come about?
It's a funny story. We never thought this would be like a serious thing. So we just thought of a ridiculous name to put music under. Because me and my partner, the other Joe, we've been working on music kind of separately. And I was kind of teaching him how to write music. And then one day he made something. I thought it was dope. So we just looked for something in the room. There was an Armnhmr box. And we're like, all right, that's it.
That is how it came about.
Yeah. So literally, yeah. Nothing
That's
special.
Great. And now look at it. That's great.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that's a good point, though. So you guys didn't start out thinking this was going to be a thing. You were in marketing, is that right?
Yeah. We didn't do the starving artist route. Me and Joe, we both went to college. We had jobs before. I'm 32 years old, so when I started hearing about EDM, I was maybe the tail end of college. This was like 2009 EDC. So a lot of like EDM was very new for us when we were younger. So we didn't even think it was going to be a thing.
Sorry to interrupt you there. I just had a quick question for you. I'm a senior here at NC State. I was wondering, where did you go to college?
I went to college at Cal Poly Pomona. It's like a polytechnic engineering school. So it's all the way in like California, like kind of by Riverside.
So when did you know then that it was going to be a thing, and maybe not so much the marketing side, where we're going to do the EDM thing?
I think like 5 years into when we were doing it, like Armnhmr was just kind of our little side passion that we would do on the weekends when we were working. So it wasn't until we were starting to generate money within like our 5th year, and then we were starting to make at least close to like what we were making at our real jobs. So we were just like, I mean, why not pursue it? We're making close to what we're making now. So that's what I think after like our 5th year, that's when we went all in, both of us.
Money is always a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, financial stability is definitely something that was kind of taught to us. So we didn't, we took it the very slow, methodical route.
So this weekend, or the tour starts, the tour's starting up. Mm-hmm. Given everything that's been going on in the world, and there's been a little bit that's been going on in the world, does this have a little extra excitement to get going?
Oh, man, yeah. I mean, it's that whole pandemic, me and Joe joke around. We were like when open, like live entertainment type of forums started opening up, we were just so excited that we get to join the adults again. Like we're never, that year and a half of not being able to, live out our dreams kind of just really, struck us. So we're not taking anything for granted. Like we hope this tour, God forbid anything goes wrong, but we're just enjoying it.
What are you looking forward to most about
it? Just testing out new music. The best part about the live experience, I feel like, is for us, is we get to play a lot of unreleased things in our set that, and we get real-time feedback of what works and what doesn't. So a lot of our songwriting process just kind of comes from that. We'll test out a track at a show. We'll see if it works. If not, then we go back into the lab, we rework it, and we kind of build it as we go along.
See, and that's one of the things I wanted to ask too. Like, you're out there performing. When do you know that you've got the crowd?
It's really tough because different markets, different areas just have, I guess, different tastes. But I think we know when we just see. The funny thing is, we can see everyone in the crowd. So when we see, like, kind of just hands in the air, people letting loose, I think that's when we know, like, oh, this is something, like they're just feeling, they're vibing with the song.
So, like, okay, so you've played EDC Las Vegas, Palladium, some other big venues. Like, to that point, have you ever been up there and thought, wow, this is awesome? Like, is there one of those moments that you can describe?
Yo, all the time. I mean, I think there's something very rewarding, like something you made in your little laptop, and people dig it. Every time a song of ours comes on, and we just see the crowd's reaction. That's just that. Yeah, I get that all the time.
So it's funny you say that. Your music, Armnhmr, like, we have a lot of EDM artists that come through. We have a lot of songs, obviously. We play EDM all the time here on the radio station. A lot of good stuff. For me personally, there are only a few artists that everything they do I like. Armnhmr.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I don't know what it is. It's like Man Cub has a similar sound to a lot of the songs that you've released as like singles for us. It's like down tempo, but it's also melody driven, and you always have the strong female vocal in there as well. And for me, yeah. And it always seems this time of year you've got one coming out too. I don't know if that's just a coincidence, but every time for us here, it's cold, it's winter, and there's an Armnhmr track.
December blues.
December blues.
Yeah.
So, you've been in the pandemic, obviously, like we all have here, and you're talking about losing the last year and a half. When you were sitting there, did you find that what inspired your creative mood during that time to come up with works?
I think just like life experiences in general. Like, I think as an artist, the ability to kind of pull from that well of life experiences just was enough for me, at least, to stay inspired. But obviously, just day in and day out, waking up. My studio is just like a very simple home studio. So I really, literally right next to my bed. So the only thing I could do is just try to, I guess, tap into that every day. And then I know it was really hard for creatives though. A lot of art comes from just going around and experiencing. So it wasn't easy at all, but we're here now. So I'm happy.
Hey, Joe, I've got another question for you about that.
Yeah.
You're just speaking on the creative process when making songs. And I know, at least from my research on you guys, it said that you started out in Los Angeles. And I was wondering if you could speak on what it's like to make music in such a competitive market like that, with so many young musicians trying to get their foot in the door.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Obviously, it's it's really saturated as far as art is involved. So competing for the limited set times in the area or in LA in general was pretty difficult. But I don't know, it's just the community. That's the best part about it, is that just such a wide array of just different types of genres and other DJs, and then everyone's kind of in the grind together. So it feels like more like a community, but in reality, it's also an individual type of creative endeavor.
So the Waiting for Love tour kicks off here this weekend. We're in the Triangle, which is Raleigh, Durham, Cary, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. You get to Charlotte, which is about 2.5 hours away, in March. But also in March, the Waiting for Love EP drops. Can you talk about how that's coming together?
Yeah, the Waiting for Love EP was kind of just a collective group of projects we've been working on during the pandemic. So a lot of it had to kind of deal with just a lot of the messages are kind of like isolation, a lot of just kind of introspective we didn't want to do a typical love song because we know love is kind of messy. So we kind of just wanted to really dive into unique perspectives on love, and kind of like the isolation of it. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does. And to that point, so like when you're starting to put together a track, how do you like, where is the beginning? Do you just hear something or you have a thought and you jot it down and then you just start working through it?
No, we're constantly working on music. So we have, for every one song that we release, there's probably 5 that, will never see the light of day. But I mean, we're both just fans of the creative process. So what we'll do is just, we kind of have a bare bones idea, and we'll send it to, a vocalist that we want to work with. And then we just kind of build it together. We'll rewrite all the time. It's definitely a very organic process.
And you brought up too, you sent it to a vocalist. So you've worked with Helene on Anywhere. Lenny coming home. Lenny's parents live in Durham, by the way. Shout out to Lenny's parents.
Actually, shout out to Lenny.
They're in range of our signal, so you never know, right?
Yeah.
Do you have vocalists that you want to work with, or because I know you've got Hammer sound? Is there a vocalist that fits Hammer sound?
No, I think we're looking for vocalists that really sing with authenticity. That's a bad word to use because I'm sure all vocalists are singing from a place of authenticity. But the ones that really stuck out to us, we can hear it in their voices, and that's the most important thing. That the thing that they're singing about or writing about is really making a connection with them, because we like to just work hands-on with them. We don't want to dictate how a song's supposed to go, because I think it's more organic that way. It's natural.
I know, speaking of the vocalist, I saw your guys' YouTube promo, and coming up soon, you've got Falling Apart with Ron.
Wonder what it's gonna take to fix this feeling. Too many hours in a day, wasted on daydreams of somebody that I can lean on. Holds me up when I don't feel strong. I got a lot of empty space, saving it for something.
I was wondering if you could speak on how excited you are for your second single with Monstercat.
Oh man, like Monstercat's always been a dream for us. Very excited. We've tried before, not to say, but also our sound when we were trying to connect with Monstercat and just, a lot of more established singers, our sound was a little kind of immature. So I'm glad that, later in our career, we're able to collaborate.
And you actually brought up a point there too. How do you think that the Armnhmr sound has evolved from the earlier tracks to now?
Maybe before, I think we were really just trying to push what we could do, production-wise. And then I guess as we've been kind of evolving our sound and maturing as artists, I think we've tried to simplify it now. Not to say that that's like the path of a lot of musicians, but like trying to do more with less. And I guess that's a lesson we've kind of just slowly learned over the years of making music.
I had another question for you about the Waiting for Love tour. I think the graphic that you guys have on there is really cool. Did you have any part in creating that, or was that your team?
It was like essentially our whole team. We were really hands-on with our art. We wanted to be really passionate, just kind of like what we project with our fans and listeners. So yeah, we definitely had a hands-on. We brainstormed it. That's how it came up.
So some of the tracks that you guys put out, you came here to WolfBytes with Save You Now. was our first song that we played for you guys, Armnhmr. Can you talk a little bit about how that song came about?
That was when we were writing our first real album, and we met Rico and Miela like early on in their careers, and that song was kind of been sitting around for 2 years before it even got released. And it was just kind of me and Joe like to really, I guess, connect with, up and coming singers. That's worked with a bunch of our friends too. So kind of just was in our back pocket for a little bit. But yeah, there wasn't really a plan around it.
Haley Ann's also been on this podcast. You had Anywhere.
You can take my picture if you post it on your heart, 'cause I always knew I'd let you paint my future if you wanted to. I would stay forever, ever run away, never hide from you, 'cause you won't find me anywhere without you.
How about that one?
Oh man, shout out to our boys Adventure Club. They kind of sent us an idea, and we loved it. The song was originally a remix for Teenage Crime that we were kind of just. It was just supposed. Yeah, I think if you look back, we used to play it out. We used to play it out for all our shows, and then Adventure Club came to us and he was like, "Hey, Haley loves the track. She wants to sing on it." And then once we got that first cut up of it, it was, wow, this is gonna be something.
And I was just looking over my shoulder right now to see. Okay, so Saving Lives with Belle Renee is what we're playing now here on WolfBytes. Came to us back in December.
It's so hard to say when I
How about that track?
Oh, that one was. Bella is an amazing singer. It's kind of the same thing. It was maybe towards the end of the pandemic. We were I was listening to a lot of like indie rock, kind of like pop punk type stuff, and I play guitar. So when we wrote that track, I just came up with that first melody, and then kind of sent it around. She wrote to it. We loved it, and then kind of just built it from there.
I was thinking it was coming on, actually, like on our radio station, like one song from now. That's why I was trying to look up on the computer to see when it was getting ready to play, and the computer keeps jumping around. Yeah, no, I know. It's timely, right?
Yeah, destined.
Exactly. So it's all good stuff. The tour, we're real excited about the tour, getting ready to go, Waiting for Love. Next time, add a triangle date. I know you came through here a couple of years ago, if I remember. It was last year you came through here.
Our first actual show was at UNC. We played Halloween Day, and I didn't realize how crazy Halloween is there. It's insane. Yes. Oh my god. We played at we like a small little fraternity house, and then that was like our first real out of state show.
Really? And it was right there in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, right in Chapel Hill. And we were so amazed because we're just from, the West Coast. We rarely came out to the East Coast. So it was just a big eye opener for us.
So do you find, like, I guess, depending where you go, the crowds respond differently to the EDM music?
Yeah. Just different types. Like we noticed like the South and the Midwest, they definitely like their dubstep. I mean, we're big dubstep heads too. And I'm sure Charlotte and all that. We know those areas love dubstep, but then when you get to maybe Vegas, Los Angeles, New York, the West Coast, it's a lot more trappy. So I think while we've been touring, we've kind of just gotten a feel of just different EDM communities, what they like or what they prefer and what they don't. Because we came from the clubbing scene. So before we were making music, we were just playing side rooms and stuff. So we got accustomed to just reading crowds and just trying to formulate something that they'd like.
So the tour dates are all on Armnhmr.com. It starts this weekend in Charlotte in March when the EP drops. It's all coming together.
Really excited for that.
Awesome. Joe, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, and all the best with the tour. I know it's got to be exciting to get out there. Joe Avila from Armnhmr right here on WolfBytes Open Mic. Hey, if you like this, please subscribe, leave some comments. I'm Mr. Voice, Cade Cross with me. We'll see you next time right here on WolfBytes Open Mic.